Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a Born Again original. This time it's going to be on a, just a interesting topic, more so on a murderer who I think, just from this interview I was watching, I think he could have possibly been demonically possessed to do this murder. So we're going to move forward a little bit in this video and we'll get to his confession and whatnot. So to preface this, his mom found a human head and hands in a plastic bag in this guy's room. And now he's describing what he did to do, like what he did to get those um, things.
Murray going to jail for the 15 years, probably. I have no idea. Because we're at the beginning. It's murder. I mean, I'm going to jail for 20, probably. But so I figure, why fight it? Okay. So what's important to me is to learn as much about you and what you did and as I can. Well, as many details as you can give me, the better.
Brian's polite exterior only adds to the surreal depravity of his confession. He's somewhat of a unique suspect.
Let's see. Yeah, it was the night of February 27th. It was a full moon.
So he mentions it was a full moon. I'm not sure why we would mention that. I do know there's connotations. Connotations? There are connections between the moon and the spiritual realm. So I'm guessing like possibly could have had something to do with it. Full moon, he's searching for someone to murder. He has murderous thoughts pretty much all the times. He has schizophrenia as well, which can also be viewed as, in some cases, I'm not saying all cases of schizophrenia are demonic possession, but I'm saying that he possibly could have been suffering from it in this case.
And I figured I could see so well, why not try it out? I am in a bad state of mind at that time. I have major depressive disorder, so I am not thinking, I shall say, positively. Okay. And I'm cruising around for an hour and a half. So I fill up on gas halfway through, and I'm eventually driving underneath the bridge near the sheriff's office. I'm bad with words. I'm just. And by the way, I'm a habitual late shaker. I have a question. Mm-hmm. You send people who have committed crimes like me. Do we stay in this county jail or are we moved? It all depends on what the judge says.
Brian maintains his spirit of cooperation, but he's clearly concerned about what happens after this interview is over. It's interesting to note how he compares himself to others with the phrase, people who have committed crimes like me, almost as if he is...
Yeah, like almost like he's joined some exclusive club, like the original narrator is saying. I would like to add that, like, that does kind of seem like what it's like. It's like maybe he's initiated to, yeah, like it's kind of odd. I know this guy, it's just a regular guy who's having some issues. And this is most likely nothing to do with a cult, but, or maybe, you know what, it could have been an initiation process for a cult. Who are we to say? We don't know the bigger picture. I'm going to say that this kid, he's just crazy. And we'll get to the demonically possessed part, like I said, but I'm going to say he's crazy, and I'm going to say this had nothing to do with a cult. Sometimes they do, though. Sometimes they do.
Joined an exclusive club.
So we were at the bridge. Yes, I was at the bridge. I was cruising. There was a road underneath, right? Under the overpass. And I was driving along, and I see a shape here on the railway track. So I'm like, oh, interesting. So I go up, and as I'm looking, I see a large thing wrapped in a canvas. Okay. And I'm like, that's a homeless person. So I grab my knife, I put on 3 layers of gloves.
I'll try to pause it, but in case I can't get it on time, but when he starts growling, his face contorts, and it just actually creeps me out. This is what kind of inspired me to make the video, to be honest.
Plastic gloves can betray their users because they're so thin, the vinyl gloves, by putting your fingerprints through. So I put on 2, 3 on one hand, I took the knife, I pulled back the canvas, and I stabbed his neck. Okay. He was panicking at first in his old man voice. He was in his 50s. I don't know why I call him old man. He was saying.
So he's like kind of mocking the victim in his old man voice. Like, that is disgusting and demonic. Like, I know that people have psychological issues, but the more we get into the end times, the more we're going to be dealing with demons taking people over and inspiring them to do things. Such is his case. Like, this is quite crazy. Like, he's got enough. Like, he seems like he's speaking through two separate personalities here. Like, you know, he says in his old man voice, and he's like, I don't know why I'm calling him old man. He's not an old man. He's 50. But he switches back and forth, which in some cases can be a symptom of demonic possession, like I said earlier.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Why? And I just kept on stabbing his neck. Is it okay if I do a demonstration? Oh, yeah. This is him. I was straddled on top of him like this. Okay. And he couldn't fight back. It was actually surprisingly easy. I was barely breaking a sweat. I thought, oh, this guy, he's going to be tough. But no, it was actually surprisingly easy. And during the time, I was growling and making animalistic noises.
Yeah, like, that is creepy stuff. Like, he's making the noises while he's doing it too. Like, that's not right. That is to me possession. Like, I don't know. And watch, he smiles after.
At this point, there can be.
Look at his face contorts. Like, look at his face there. It just creeped me out. I thought he looked possessed here. He's excited. He's reliving the killing. Maybe the demon's coming out because he's reliving the killing. I could assume that killing someone would make the bond between a demon and a person stronger, right? Would it not? But this is just so interesting to me. I think we're going to end it here, though.
No doubt that Brian is excited to tell the investigators all about his horrific deed. Not only is he pleased to be holding court, he's actually reliving the murder and relishing the memory, demonstrated by a smile.
And you know, demons or the Nephilim, they were not completely human, right? So they used to hunt human beings and kill them. So when you see people who are being possessed and like reliving this stuff and loving it, it could actually be the demonic spirit reliving its past life through this person, if that makes sense. I don't want to get too speculative, but yeah. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this was possession, or just mental health issues? I think I'm open to either. Honestly, I'm not going to close the door on either. What gave it away for me about the possession was more so just the contortion of his face. All right, let me know what you guys think below, and thanks for watching.